Alright, hey everybody, this is 54 News Chart, and this is the next part of our card game. So in the previous part, we built the enemy random card chooser. So basically that's saying, hey, we have an enemy person or player choosing the cards. Instead, it's just a randomized chooser that will choose a set of cards. And then I said I would work on the human variable where you could choose what cards you wanted to play. Now, since this is a mobile or web-based video game and not exactly a PC-based video game, you just need something that you can click on or tap on, and is easy to export to both of them and is easy to code for. So in the spirit of making it easy but effective, and actually you just need it to do a certain job and not for it to do a bunch of stuff, but you would like the option to then add on different codes. So this is going to be our chooser, or basically the thing where we just scroll through our cards, and whatever card we're on that we want to choose, we tap that card, it will go down to the battle map, and then we say, okay, enemy player, choose your card to battle against that. Basically, it's within seconds, so it's not as if like, oh, they saw the card and then they choose their own. It's instant. It's like you both put down your cards at the same time. Now, before we get into this, because I know you see the code on the screen right now, what it's going to have to do is build in several video games, card-based video games, there's an archive of what each card does so that the enemy AI and that the player know what they do, what they both do. Basically, the computer references a database or an archive to say, okay, this card can add, like an add-on card, which we're going to do. We're going to do that, but we're going to do that in sections. Say you have a player card. It's a base 1 card. It's a, I don't know, some level 1 monster. Its main attack is Scratch. So what you want to do is build an archive of every single card. It says, okay, when referencing this card, it's going to say attack is this. We have health of this. We have maybe armor. If it's like a knight, you have armor, health, attack, defense. So you want to set in all those variables. And then you want to build at that point a randomizer again to then randomize those to say, okay, you have so much on this, so much on this, so much on this per attack. Or if he does this attack, like say, like a troll versus a small mouse based character, you're literally going to wipe out the mouse. So forget the defense. Forget against the armor. Maybe he has a spell, and maybe that does save him. So we're going to work on those sections. Right now we're going to work on building, at this point we're going to be building the player chooser, or the player's card chooser. So you can go through your pack of cards. And remember, each pack is only about, I'm going to say 21 cards per game, because you can choose multiple different cards. So you have actual like monster or whatever what I call play cards, which is an actual like monster character or item, in some cases an item like a magical monster book or something like that, that you can set against the enemy's character. And then you're going to have add-ons. Now, add-ons we're going to deal with a little bit later, but it's maybe not exactly a side character, but maybe he has a pet, or maybe he has some sort of side spell that he can use that will allow him to have immunity, or so much immunity, like the attack is not totally effective against him. Like you have an attack, it's 50. Maybe he has an immunity, like a little shield or something, that will make him immune to, like, say, 35% of the attack or 50% of the attack. So we're going to work on that a little bit later, but right now we're going to be working on basically a player chooser, referencing what card he chose, and then later we're going to be saying, okay, he chose this card, it's this number, let's go through the entire deck, okay, he has this card, boom, it's this level, this attack, and all that. So I know that was a lot of information, but right now we're going to just choose to go into what we're going to do right now. Because on my channel, not the Sakara channel, but my channel, I usually do it in small little sections so we can understand each bit, understand what we did previously, and understand what we're going to do in the future. On the Sakara channel, I'm literally just going to edit these to be all one big video, and then a couple of like blank spaces so you can understand that was the end of that episode, and then move on to the next one. Okay, so right here is where it's going to be basically your money per battle, and then you're going to take that and then you're going to buy decks of cards, or you can buy individual cards, and then build a custom deck. And we'll get into that. This is going to be a pretty big setup, bigger than what I actually thought it was going to be. And then we have the enemy card number and then your card number. So I'm going to flip through a card, and I haven't set up the archive yet, so these are just totally going off of the numbers that we pull. So this is a Blood Mage, Thal, Nos, spell damage +1, death rattle, battle, draw a card. So I'm going to click that one, and that's several ways into the deck. Actually, let's just go into a level 3. Feral Spirit. Summon 2 or 3 Spirit Wolves with Taunt, Overlord 2. I'm going to click that one. Now I'm going to do the enemy. It's 5, that's 10. So I still have to work on the battle setup. So basically I won that one. So I won 10 credits. Now, if I were to run this again, now I have to put in a, there's like, I'm trying to decide how many battles there are in each, so we say level. It's like Pokemon fights, except you have to fight so many times before the actual game is over. So this is a Totemic Might. No, Earth Shot. No, it's an actual attack. Forked Lightning, Frost Shock, Lightning Bolt, Blood Mage. Unless that one will do. And we're doing the enemy. It's 1 and 6. So I just won 5 points. I don't know if you can see that. See right there, 5 points. Now we're going to do it again. That's level 4. I'm a level 6. He's a level 3. I just won 15 points again. That's a level 10. I'm a level 6, so I just lost points. Level 15. He's 5, and I'm a 6. And we're just continuing battling until, there's an 8, I'm a 6. There's a 7, 10, there's a 5, and then a 6. So you can see we have a battle statistic on bigger numbers. We're going to do this, and we're going to compare all the numbers, then we're at it. I think basically just add them up and say, okay, you have the bigger number because you took less damage or whatever. You know, your health is basically health is a big thing. Because armor will make you immune to so much of that. Health, literally, when it hits 0, you're dead. So we're going to go into the coding now. So I kept all. I'm going to put this in the Mediafire link. Because that's the only way I can do this, because I ran this on some something big download site, and I contacted them and said, hey, I'm doing this and all that stuff, and they were like, oh yeah, fine, I'll be safe. It didn't. All my files, which literally just dropped, so some tutorials I'm going to be redoing and re-uploading. So this will be all on Mediafire. So this is the enemy stuff. So that's a whole block of enemy code. And this is basically the player setup. And it's a whole lot smaller because you do, this is basically it thinking. This is like enemy AI. And everything gets bigger when you're doing enemy AI. And this is player basically controlled. So on tap of your player card, you will choose your card. So in a sense, that is set player card number to player card number. Basically, that is this. Okay, that's text. So it's saying, okay, the whatever you choose as a power of this, we're going to display that. And then we're going to set it to somewhere on the board. And then we're going to set text to play card number, enemy card value, text, play card. I think I may have actually deleted that, so we may not need that anymore. I'm going to keep it around just in case. I want to use that variable though. And then we have player card, which is a new sub box. On tap of gesture, so this is the yellow arrow. It's going to say, okay, on tap. So it's not on click, it's on tap, because on tap covers on click in case you want to use this for a web. And I think vice versa. I just prefer on tap. So the system is going to add the player card number. So that's a global variable. So it's going to keep adding. Every time we tap that, it's going to add 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to keep it in like a page number setup. And then this is the player card deck. We have an enemy card deck and a player card deck. And you can have multiple player card decks. So eventually we're going to have to like name them and keep a limit on them. Or just add a variable every time you add one. So player card deck, it's that animation to player card number. Excuse me, sorry guys. So every time you click the arrow, it's going to add 1, 2, 3, and you're going to be on card 1, 2, and 3. So it's going to be keeping you in sync when you choose it. And then you may want to split up your decks into like, this is my monsters, my fighters, and this is my support deck, or spells, shields, and all that type of stuff, to suddenly like level the playing field in case you're fighting a troll and you're a regular human grunt character. Let's see if there's anything else. I think that's basically it. I'm gonna have to I'll literally delete all of these on tap, and I'll just have one, and it's literally just gonna reference the archive material. So we'll have like, I'm gonna have something that says archive. It's gonna be like, I'm going to limit this to probably 40 characters, and then probably 20 support. So that's 20 supportive spells or items, and then like 40 monsters and characters, with so many in each level. Or maybe I do level 1 and level 2, or just 5 levels. I'll probably just do that, or something like that, so that it's easier for us to do it, but it's almost a full entire game. So literally it's just going to be on tap, reference, card number 9. Card number 9 is going to reference this and this card, or this and this level. So it's literally going to reference, okay, you chose this card. This card is a bird type monster. He's level 3. Reference him. Okay, we're going to pull him out of the archive. He has an attack of 6 and a defensive 1. Boom, done. So it's a lot like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or one of these things where you're referencing more of an archive-based system, tracking the numbers, and then seeing where they go. So again, on the enemy stuff is on ran. So we're going to be choosing a variable. Again, it's through 20. Since your deck is 20, again, I just put 10 here for simplicity, and for the tutorial. On tap, run the random chooser, set the enemy card. So we're going to ping it. It's going to come back and say, okay, this is the card. Here you go. We want to display the text. This is more for us. And I guess we could set it in the game to say, oh, that is a level 3. We want to see that number. But again, we can always remove that. So it's just like, oh, you have to know what the card number is. But I think I'm going to keep that in. Set the position of the enemy card to the deck. Set the enemy card number to enemy card. I think that's actually referencing a text. I think enemy card value. Oh no, it's sending it to a global variable, and then from that global variable we are choosing the animation. It's not exactly an animation, it's an entire card deck and a animation set. This allows us to then reference what frame it's on, and then say, okay, depending on what card it shows, it chose 10. 10 references this card. This card is this powerful. Different ways you can set it up. That's just one way. I'm thinking of different other ways to set it up. And then we have the player on tap of the card. We're going to then set the player card number to player card number. It's basically saying player card. Okay, basically, that's kind of redundant. Not redundant, but kind of. Here's how I'm going to explain it. To choose the card, you have to hit the big yellow button. When you do that, it adds 1 to the player card number, and it sets your animation your deck number to that. So you tap it 3 times, you're on 3. You're going to see Sprite 3 are the 3rd card in your deck. You scroll up and you tap that card. I want to choose the Eagleman monster. What this does is when you tap it, it references the card that you are currently on. So it's saying, okay, what card is he choosing in this deck? 3? Okay, he's on 3. He's tapping 3. He's not, it's not saying, okay, he's suddenly on 6 or 5. He's on 3. We got it. We're going to reference the material so we know what his attacks and defense are. We're going to set the position. It's on the board, so it looks pretty. We're going to set text to player number. So we know our defense, or what I'm thinking about doing is a bunch of stats over here. Our defense is 3. Our attack is 12. We have an immunity of 0. Basically, we're not a magical or regular creature. And then we set the arrow to be invisible, so we can't, go playing around with the rest of the deck. It's just, there it is, there's the battle, boom, done, and then we reset it to a new fight. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. I'm going to set the download link down below for you guys to play around with. You can do whatever you want with this. I'm going to be updating this with the archive of about 40 cards, 20 supportive cards. So yeah, if you see any other tutorials, because I'm really busy on this, setting up all that archival based stuff, and then eventually we're going to have to do a buying and selling of cards, because your fighting deck is only 20 cards, but you can then choose what cards you want in that fighting deck. So we're going to have a player archive of, okay, you only have 15 cards. You got to buy more cards. You buy them. You got 20 cards. Well, I want to sell these cards, or I want to exchange these cards or whatever. So yeah, hopefully guys you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, hit like and subscribe. I'm trying to make them easier for you guys to understand. That's why I have the explanation. If it isn't, comment down below on how you would like me to explain it, or on what items or what things you would want me to explain. I can probably put up a quick video on the blog instead of actually just dumping it right here and spamming you guys with these type of tutorials. This was a next section. We had the enemy section, we had the player section. Next time it's going to be the archive and actually integrating that into the battle system. And then we're going to have the economy system where you can buy and sell cards. And see them at different levels. I don't know if I'm going to do multiplayer. I might. I don't know. Pretty much after the buying and selling cards thing, or the archive setup, I'm going to say buying and selling cards video, you're going to see this entire series up on the Construct 2 forums and their YouTube page. It'll be an entire video, so it may be like 45 minutes, an hour and a half. I do videos for them, and I would like you to check out those guys because they do a lot of cool tutorials over there, and I do videos for them. So hopefully guys you enjoyed it. Hit like and subscribe. Comment down below on what other stuff you would like to do or would like to see, and I'll see you guys in the next video.